Lena says, "You all, how do we respond to people who say God approved of genocide in the old Bible and therefore does now?" Well, I can talk about this. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts first and foremost.
I think that God hates wickedness, and what they were doing, the Canaanites, they were sacrificing children, and there's necessary evil sometimes. That's some of my initial thoughts, but they're not very fleshed out. What do you think, AJ, before Eastern Thomas tells us? Do you have any thoughts?
What was the question again?
It's Lena asked it. It's about like genocide. She's saying like people sometimes say that God condoned genocide in the Bible, and I think that could be challenged. But I was just saying myself that like the Canaanites were sacrificing children, and like
yeah. What my response to that is that people who say God committed genocide, I just find it's just laughable. It's ridiculous because God is the owner of the universe. Like, he gave us life. The one who gives you life, he can take life away. So, I mean, people who say, "Well, why is God taking?" I mean, you didn't ask to be born. You didn't ask to come. God willed you into existence, so he has the right to do whatever he wants, and what he does is just. He can't do anything evil.
Well, yeah, I would say AJ mostly summed up most of my thoughts. When we, and I think, by the way, I think the verse that, let me pull this up here. I think the verse that Lena was talking about was right here in verse 3. Again, I'm using the Superior Bible translation, the Douay-Rheims Bible. I'm going to say a bit of a curse word, but it's justified because I'm reading the Bible. Now, therefore, go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that he hath. Spare him not, nor covet anything that is his, but slay both man and woman, child and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And again, I'm just reading the Bible here. I'm not.
It's a donkey.
Right.
Yeah, donkey.
Yeah, right. But even if it was something else, I'm just reading, something historical and something doctrinal. But yeah. So the I think AJ summed it up the best. When we ultimately commit murder, that's disordered because we we're not in the right, we don't have the right authority to ultimately make decisions pertaining to divine judgment. So when a human being murders another human being, they act in a disordered manner for that reason. However, when it comes to God, because God is in a position where he gave life, it is not disordered that he sentence anyone to death or designate a legate to take the life of another person. Now, some might say, well, why would he do that? Why would he designate a child to be killed? Well, St. Thomas would say God might do that because God might do that because of his divine providence. When it comes to the Amalekites, because of how corrupt their culture is, it's very possible that God foresaw that the children who were in Amalek would grow up to be like the adults that were reigning there, and might have thought it best for them to be killed based on that regard.
Yeah, I think like the Jews, when they obviously when they didn't follow God's commandment here and didn't kill them all, like they ended up taking some of their pagan beliefs, and that's like what God didn't want them to do. And yeah, I agree with you that the children would probably try to keep the culture going, and you had to completely wipe yourself off of that. It's like this is the way of the world right now, is that you kill other people to take their land, and if you're going to do it, then it should be against these people that are so against God and are like completely given up to Satan at this point. You know, like there's certain, you know, we know what happened with Noah. We know what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. There's like certain places that get so bad that it's actually in God's mercy to end the life, so that worse things don't happen in the future. And it's like he sees when that point is in his great divine providence, and he had them be an instrument to that, you know, and to participate in that. But they did not listen, and we saw what happened. They started worshiping idols and stuff again.
Right. I mean, certainly it is a challenging passage. You know, when you first read that, you're like, oh, why did God do that? But ultimately, I think it makes sense within the purview of God's providence.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, I like AJ in your answer, too. It's just like, we can't judge God. You know, like, we don't know. We're just stupid humans.
Right. If you like what you see here, make sure to like, comment, and ring that notification bell.